You know that feeling when the world seems to pause for just a split second? When something feels a little off? That's what 2 in the morning feels like in my town. Except for me. It started when I was 15, walking home from a late shift at the convenience store. The streets were empty, fog rolling low over the pavement. I remember glancing at my watch as I crossed the main street. 2 a.m. sharp. And then everyone froze. A couple holding hands outside the diner stopped mid-step, their smiles locked on their faces like mannequins. The dog on the corner leash was mid-bark, but no sound came out. Even the birds in the trees paused mid-flight, their wings still in the air. It lasted exactly 10 seconds. Then, just like that, time resumed. Everything moved again, like nothing had happened. I shook my head. I must have dozed off while walking. That's impossible, right? It happened again the next night. I was on my bike this time. My neighbor was walking their dog frozen mid-step again. A car stopped at the red light, the driver's hand suspended above the wheel. And the street lamps. They flickered, but never went out. 10 seconds. And I rode right through it, completely unaffected. That's when I realized I was the only one moving. I tried to tell people, hey, at 2 a.m., everything just stops. They laughed. They said I was tired, imagining things, maybe stressed. No one believed me, except my little brother. He told me he saw it too once, but he moved away after that, said he didn't want to talk about it. His exact words were, some things you don't want to see every night. I started paying attention, really paying attention. The freezing always starts exactly at 2 a.m. Not a second later, not a second earlier. For 10 seconds, the town is suspended in an eerie silence. Then, reality snaps back, and it's like nothing happened. Cars continue rolling down streets as if their drivers never paused. Dogs bark again. People resume walking. Conversations pick up mid-word, but I remember. And I notice things others don't. At first, it was small. I'd glance at someone's face mid-freeze, and their eyes. They weren't right, not blank, but different, hollow, empty, like they weren't really there. It's subtle. You have to be looking carefully. Most people would never notice. Then one night, I saw a movement that wasn't quite right. I was walking my dog past the old church on Main Street. The clock in the tower struck 2 a.m. I almost froze myself out of habit, but then realized I could move. The church doors slowly swung open on their own, even though there was no wind. Inside, the pews were empty, but I saw shadows shifting across the walls, though no one else was in there. The next second, the town resumed as normal. I looked at the church. Nothing. Empty. Silent. I swear. Something had been there. I started recording it. At 2 a.m. sharp, I would film my street with my phone. Every time, the same thing happened. Everyone freezes, but in the videos, something else moves. Shadows flicker in places there should be no shadows. Cars stop, but their headlights flicker like they're watching me. Birds hang frozen in the air, yet their eyes glint red for a split second. I stopped sharing the videos. No one believed me. Then, a week ago, something new happened. I was walking home past the park. The clock struck 2 a.m. I moved normally, as always. But this time, one figure didn't freeze. A man, tall, thin, wearing a dark coat. He walked slowly, deliberately, across the park as if he knew I was watching. His eyes, they weren't human, black glossy. They reflected the streetlights like wet glass. And then he stopped. He stared directly at me. The world froze. Except him, I ran through the frozen town. Cars stopped mid-motion, dogs frozen mid-bark, people stuck mid-step like statues. But he moved with purpose, gliding over sidewalks, across streets. I felt him closing in. Then the 10 seconds ended. The town resumed, and he was gone. I didn't sleep that night, or the next, or the next. I started noticing patterns. It always begins with the same clock chime. The big bell in the church tower, always exactly at 2 a.m. Everyone in town pauses mid-action. Anything that is inanimate, like cars or street signs, sometimes shows subtle anomalies. They move slightly, just enough to be unnatural, and only I remain unaffected. I tried to leave town, drove to the next city over, checked the time. 2 a.m. approached, and the world froze. Not the city, just me. I realized something terrifying. I'm the only one awake, and something or someone watches during the freeze. It's like the town itself pauses for inspection, for assessment, and I remain the only conscious witness. Last night, it got worse. I stayed in my house, trying to sleep. The clock ticked closer to 2 a.m. I could hear the wind outside, the rustling of leaves. Then, silence, and a knock, soft, gentle, on my window. I looked, nothing. I heard another knock, then a voice, whispered, almost teasing, "You're awake again?" I froze. Not out of fear, I physically couldn't move. The sound of my own heartbeat in my ears made me dizzy. Then the world resumed. I ran to the window. Nothing. But on the street, there were footprints. Single footprints. No one walking beside them, leading to my house. I don't know how long I can survive this. The man, the one who never freezes. He's here every night now, watching me. Always. I can feel him in the corner of my vision during the freeze. I blink and he disappears. I turn and he's closer. I've tried leaving again. It doesn't matter. The town or whatever it is. It follows me every night, 2 a.m., and I'm always awake. I wanted to warn someone, but who would believe me? Who would even hear me? I keep a journal now. I document every second of the freeze, every anomaly, every shadow, every movement of the man. I can't stop watching. I can't stop being awake, because if I sleep, if I'm unconscious, I don't know what will happen. But one thing is certain. Everyone in my town freezes at 2 a.m., except me. And now, I think they are starting to notice. Subscribe for more.